I mean, this is a good draw. If we can set it up, yeah, let's go for it. Denying the chapter 2 and also, you know, the whole creature, I think is worth it. And now we are a little bit ahead with Siege already on the board, Fynn able to attack on the next turn, and this has pretty decent toughness, so at least they need to invest a little bit into it. Look out. Man, if you see this and red, I think that's an Annex deck. Alright, they got a very good answer, but still card for card. I could set up Annex, or I can go aggressively. Listen, I want to go for an epic game, alright? We are going for the Annex, and because I need Scythe, I need lands, and I need probably a lot of 1 and 2 drops so I can set up the board, because they have removal, so, you know, we need to sneak more than 1 creature a turn, so I will go with Annex and try to, you know, go from there. Even against Etali, we can just try to fight the board. Glissa literally beats Etali 1-1, so, you know, it should be fine. We missed the land still. Oh, that's not perfect. The whole plan was to not miss the land. Alright, we'll go with this. Obviously a little bit slow, but we can use those virtues. We will definitely not miss land again. Yep. So on the next turn we will go into 4 mana and then start, you know, setting up the board a little bit more. Our opponent is not aggressive, so we can use life basically as Cardo, in a way. If you are playing against aggressive deck, you probably don't want to make this, unless you can defend yourself. And they're going for the dragon. I wonder what the dragon is. Okay, that's fine. I wonder if they want to ramp with it. Bro, they still need more. They are at 7 mana already, and they want to go to 9 or 10. Alright, bad things will happen to us on the next turn. It could be Ugin. It definitely could be Ugin. So I think we go with Glissa and we can go for the Scythe. Oh man, this is going pretty nicely. The lands are super wonky, so we missed one of the turns. And we are hitting fast runs on, you know, land 4 and then Cottage. So we are really slow here on this opening, but we are going for the value this time. Unfortunate, but still one of the cards. And here's the loot. That's something we could get rid of while setting up more lands. I think this has to die. we cannot allow this, which means we probably go for the throat. And I guess we can just go for Virtue. What is scary card? I guess Fenrir. But I like the life gain, let's go for it. It's not the biggest deal, but life gains 3 basically on this turn, and we still get the other Virtue. And the more life we have, the easier it is to draw more cards. So far wonky, because our opponent is removing everything we have, but at some point we'll start setting the board that they cannot answer, and then they need to fight it. And I don't think they can. We have 5 mana, right? Okay, I think we set up Revenant into Fynn. And this is incredibly scary right now, because this is already 4 poison. Which means that if we add some creatures, it's 2 turn Nifa from literally empty board. Oh boy, this will be scary, right? Creatures have trample, and they draw a card. Alright, so they will start spamming creatures probably soon. Alright, I think we go Slasher into Shelly. We want the most creatures possible, because we want to go for poison on the next turn. And let's go for the lifelink. With this deck you actually don't need demons, you can just go with lifelink. They're at 4 poison already, so they will be at what? 12 on the next turn. And we are not losing life because of Shelly. So as you can see, even without demons, you actually are super fine. Alright, let's go. Let's fight for it. And man, we can menace something. Man, this could be really good with the Scythe. Because we will force 2 creatures to block our smallest creature. Or just Slasher, just to make sure it's more fun this way. Alright. I think this is the showcase. Oh, let's go for it. And you know what? I'm going for Shelly. Yep. And we swing. They need to double block this, because this now has menace. They actually cannot block the rest of the cards. Is that the right choice? I'm not sure, but I want to play fast, I want to see it in action, and we'll see what happens. I appreciate it, man. Yeah, it doesn't matter. First strike, Menace, and Death Touch is a good combination, so our opponent did so much work for it. They aired 8 drops, and it didn't even matter. I think they are going to 10. Man, they would lose on life, poison, and the board all at once. Siege is amazing when you have time to lose a bit of tempo, but here this will be very scary matchup, so I think we need to go as quickly as possible. Alright, so it's Simic with, you know, the crabs. Alright, that's, I guess, a little bit better? Not sure yet. We'll play the 3-drop, so let's keep this with Into the Floodmaw, because they probably don't want this to hit them. And I'm not playing a land, because most players play a land, which telegraphs the 3-drop. With this we can actually drop it as the surprise at the instant. Is it Glissa or Slasher? Probably Glissa. I can see argument for Slasher, because then you can go for Siege and it's very hard to block. But Glissa is basically like self-sufficient, so maybe it's a little bit easier. I hope they don't have another. I could go for Fynn to start the poison. Or we can go... No, it's Slasher turn. So that means we can just swing. Guys, every time... This. Always this. This is the card that allows the craziness. Without it, they are a normal deck. And Slasher will be very annoying to deal with. I guess they don't have typical removal, they usually have bounce spells. See, without Up the Beanstalk, they don't have much. Let's count the instants. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So, I don't remember, I think it's 7 mana for the crab, and 4 mana discount means this is the crab. So if we go to combat phase, they will tap both creatures. And that's probably what will happen. Let's go to combat phase and get everything tapped. So obviously not the turn of our dreams, but I think we can make it work, or at least try to. Let's make as many spells as possible. This is kind of decision, but yeah, let's go for Menace. We don't have a way to put counters here, so it's just better this way. So they're digging for all the answers they already wasted. They need Up the Beanstalk, Into the Floodmaw, and probably, you know, get some more discount on their creatures. Because now they are very behind, and we need to close the game before they recover. Oh, this is a nice one. We actually will lose the creature if we go for the fight. Alright, so we can attack with Glissa. They cannot block her, and Slasher. Okay, I think I know. I could get rid of the crab with Fynn. Okay, this is better. Okay, wait. I think we can do it even better. If we Virtue the crab, they don't have any good block. But we don't get too much value out of this, I guess. We could also activate the cottage and attack with everything. Nah, I think we go like this. Now we can pay the ward very easily. They are tapped, so they cannot protect the creature. Alright. And now we can do this. We are going a little bit all in. Not gonna lie, but I think this is good play. I guess I could just go with Menace. Alright, so that last part was a misplay. But it's fine. Alright, I'm trying to encourage them, you know, to block the Slasher, but they're not going for it. And now we'll start to draw cards, because we are a little bit low on those. Alright, and they are close to being dead right now. Do we want to play? No. The priority kinda gave away what we drew, because we have 0 mana and there was still priority, which means that we drew land, but I hope our opponent didn't pay too much attention. So this will be a crab probably, which means that now you need to play a land, activate this, and go into combat phase. They will tap both Death Touchers probably, and then the cottage goes through. That's my assumption, because I think this is a crap. They need double blue on this. Yep. Slasher, Glissa probably. Good. Now we can attack with this. That's why we did this. And, oh, this is actually kinda important that we can exile something. Obviously we will go for instant. With probably high cost, but it doesn't matter too much. Only one. Alright, I think this is the play. I kinda wasted the Virtue, but I think we can still close the game, even with that. Because they already used second crab. At some point they won't be able to defend, and this cottage is like the, you know, the one extra creature that breaks them, I think, here. And Cecil puts a ton of pressure. They could attack with both, get us to 6, so that's a little bit of, you know, a little bit scary. I think the Siege with Menace will be the breaking point together with Cottage. I don't think they can block so many creatures on one turn. Like, it's 4 creatures, and Menace goes to the creature that isn't tapped, because they need to do it before we declare attackers. So this goes later. So one of the remaining creatures needs 2 blockers as well. But I think they need the third crab. And that's why it's so important to get rid of Up the Beanstalk. Then they don't have answers. I played this deck, and without Up the Beanstalk it's a different deck. And that's how we do it. This could be a mistake. If opponent is good, they will play Swift Spear into like Pump Spell, and you won't have a moment to remove anything. So this is a risky play, but I usually do it, because usually it works. We cannot kill this, so we can go for the Claw. This way we don't take the damage from the Lizard. Very scary card. But we have ways to go around it. Let's go, Fynn. This deck can do a lot against, you know, all those red hasters. Glissa, like, if they don't have removal, they actually cannot attack into this board. Unless they play Cory, because they get, you know, few creatures a turn for free, so it's fine. You lose 1, it's fine, you have 5 more. So here, this is the first problem for our opponent. A Death Toucher with decent toughness, so 2-drop cannot attack into it easily. Alright. Interesting. Oh, see? You cannot. That's why we like this card. We absolutely cannot miss a land here. We have double pain land. I guess we go with Sanctuary. Probably not the biggest difference, but we take 1 pain anyway. I honestly think we go with Glissa. If we stack few Death Touchers, this will be incredibly hard for them to attack, and we can go for for Slasher as well, right? So we will have 3 creatures. We cannot re-attack right now, and now we want to get the Scythe, because if we can, we will force 1 creature a turn to die for free, and we love it. We can even attack with Fynn. Then it's first strike Death Toucher, and Glissa is still defending, which is great. Unfortunately, our opponent is playing an aggro control deck, so they not only win on turn 4 with damage, not only on turn 3, but they also can get infinite card advantage for just using their lands. Actually, they don't. Like, I counted that they need to tap 2 mana to draw a card. They actually get it for free. However, oh yes, go Scythe. Even Mono Red cannot keep up with this one, probably. Alright, this is absolutely amazing. This is exactly what we wanted. And now every single turn, they need to block this. Yep, we attach, we swing, and our opponent is forced to not only block, but also to read the card, which is like double win. Alright, I bet they never seen this card. So now they are forced to sacrifice 1 of the creatures. It should be Lizard, because it's not a Mice package. And Mice package is superior to everything else. Alright. What's up with this play? I really want to see what's up. Our opponent still doesn't realize how Magic works, I think. But it's just a Mythic player, so, you know, they're still learning how the game works. So they pump a creature, wasted a card, they got best tools of that Magic has to offer, and they still don't know how to play it, because Mono Red is a very complex deck, so, you know, it's hard to figure out those plays. So, obviously, jokes aside, they thought that there's no first strike, because they didn't read that this has first strike, so they wanted to trade. Well, this is an interesting hand, but you know what? On 3 mana, double Glissa, I see some potential here, and if we can get to the Scythe, bro, like, they are not having creatures after that. Let's go Fynn. Fynn is an extremely nice draw, because then we don't miss this turn, so any 1 or 2 drop is good enough, just because everything has Death Touch. As long as you don't miss creature, you are happy with it. And let's see what the matchup exactly is. We see Boros, but it could be more. Chains, bro. Poor Fynn. Imagine, you enter the battlefield and you get this into your face. I really want to go for Glissa. Alright, I will go aggressively here. I could go for Annex and just completely give up the aggro plan and try to go for the long game, but I really hope they cannot remove this. With Chainsaw usually you have less removal, because you usually play a lot of creatures that love being sacrificed. At least that's my memories. Alright, they just have more, it's fine. Usually whenever I play Chainsaw it's like main removal in the deck, because you need so many slots for different stuff. Do we try again? I really want to get this done. Annex is better long term. Alright, we went for aggro game plan. I'm going for the aggro game plan. We just need Glissa to hit once. Or at least force our opponent to block. Please play a creature. Be a good person and just play a creature that can die to my cool stuff. Bro. They don't want to play a creature that dies to my cool stuff. Alright, so if I knew that our opponent is playing like a control with Chainsaw being blinked, of course I would play a bit differently. But here we will still try to go for it. It really feels like they probably play more of a control deck. So let's go for Annex and try to... So right now we gave up on the aggro. This is completely new game. Right now we are trying to outvalue them over the long game, making demons, life gaining and getting card advantage. Not sure if it will work, especially after basically missing 3 turns on, creature against removal. With this they also get 2 for 1, right? Yeah, they didn't invest the card and they still killed Glissa. So they already got card advantage, that's why this Annex is super important. So we are in a rough spot, but we can recover. And in my dreams it was just, I play Glissa, they play cool creature, exactly like whatever, you are a creature, right? And I go with Scythe and I trade, and everything is great. But it did not work like this. I probably don't want double striker on me, especially with the chainsaws. So I probably need to go for the throat and to go for the throat, draw a land for the next turn and go for like demon. Alright, Fynn not exactly what I wanted, but something we can work with. Bro, those chainsaws are like a nightmare so far. I mean, that's kind of the point, I guess. Here's the sword, so this will be full equipment deck, but it's good because we have quite a lot of removal right now. Yep, you always want to wait. Did they get a discount on something? Oh, this is a discount. Alright. Let's see if they want to pump it more. Our removal is unconditional, so we want to wait until the last moment. Nothing triggers by attacking. It has to be a combat damage. And it's very tempting to pump it. Alright, they have no instance. That's huge information. That means there is a chance there won't be a creature at the end step. I prepared this go for the throat. So they got the counters, creature died, but nothing in the board. We basically need to out-remove their creatures and try to get the card advantage with this. What do you do? Okay. Listen, I mean, we are killing it. Let's pay 2. 3, actually. Yep. Absolutely, please don't play more creatures because I need to recover. Everything went wrong this game. And here we have Glissa. We missed the land steal, which is wild. Revenant is really nice. We can go with Scythe. I'm not sure. With this they always will have double strike, but it's super expensive. They don't have haste on anything, I think. Man, I'm not sure how to play this. We went with Glissa. Alright, this is the game plan for this game. I'm not sure if it will work. Top plan not optimal, but we will go with this game plan and see what happens. I really think they shouldn't have creatures right now. They have no card advantage. We removed everything and they need to have tons of equipment. Unfortunately, still didn't work out. But no haste, so maybe I think we can trade against this and try again basically. Alright. Guys, let's go. It has to happen, alright? It has to happen. They will get the life gain, but it's fine. Yeah, we want to force a block. You know what? We could attack, and if they don't block, because they actually have first strike. Double strike is also first strike, right? So they can block normally, and it's still decent trade for them because of that. Or we can just go. Oh, okay. I just realized this is the play. We go this into Bushwhack. Fight spells do not work as you might think fight spells work. They actually don't fight. They just deal damage to each other. So first strikes and stuff like this does not matter really. And we need to start hitting them really hard. We will go to 8. No enchantments, right? Only equipment. We could get rid of the chainsaw counters, but there are too many of them, so I don't think we can. I think we need to get cards, start life gaining with Demon, and hope that they cannot haste us on next 1 or 2 turns. I think they should whiff right now. I really need them to whiff. Alright, see? Equipment decks have some issues. They need both creatures and equipments in good ratios, so when you interrupt one of them, usually they don't have enough. Alright, this is good. We could start going with Sanctuary. It's a demon, it's quick, it's deadly. But this has more stats and we need to do 23 damage, so I think this one is actually better. If they were low, I would go for the Sanctuary. Let's go. Bro, we have a lot to do. Do we get rid of counters? No, we are dead probably, whatever they get. Drawing cards for removal is probably better. This is risky, but I think this is the play. We will kill them in 2 turns, so I need instant removal, like go for the throat. Okay, see? They're hitting the wrong part of the deck, because we killed every creature so far. Man, this game went so wrong, and now it's so good. So I think we go for the Revenant. This can block. Okay, I think we can activate both. We have double black mana, no pain. How much do we deal? 9? Because I will get comment that I missed the lethal, so let's count. So it's 9, 11, 15. We cannot kill them on this turn, I believe. Which means that we activate the Sanctuary for maximum damage. We swing. To be honest, we could just attack like this. This is better, I think. Yeah, they are dead on the next turn anyway. We have removal. And the Scythe, so we can actually go a little bit crazy here. And now we go for a Revenant that has lifelink and Death Touch and flying. So whatever they will draw, we have first strike, we have lifelink. I think there's nothing they can draw here that actually, you know, goes through. And we won! Man, this was such a messy game, early game, and we did it! Alright, let's swing. Our mono-red opponent roping from turn 1. The classic. You would think that at least they wait until they lose the game to rope. Nope, they start the game with roping, with the fastest deck of the format. So let's lose some life, so we can flip Cecil faster, but we already are starting with the poison. So on the next turn, just to point out, on the next turn our opponent will be at 6 poison total, which means they're 1 turn from being dead. Alright, effigy. I honestly think we take the damage. Alright, so our opponent's still roping every single turn. Yep, another rope, the classic mono-red experience. Oh man, this is so weird to me. They played a 3-drop. Alright, now we are talking. They played a creature. And the creature should block because otherwise they are dead. Nope, our opponent has no idea how this game works. They don't know what those cards do. All they know is that they hit face and they mythic. So let's show our opponent how the cards work. Right now, I think they didn't realize they are dying because the number is not 0, so they don't know those cards do stuff. And that's how we take our win, rightfully so. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and as you have seen, the strategy can work really nicely, and I have good news for you. We actually managed to beat Mythic Ladder with this deck. We went 7 and 6, so honestly I'm pretty happy with this. The Scythe is the card that instantly brought my attention. It's of course not very strong equipment, but it's super cool, so I wanted to make a deck with this. And obviously the only way you can get maximum value is if your creatures have some abilities that make opponent not want to block them. For example, Death Touch, especially that this gives first strike, as you have seen, and now some mono-red players also know this. First strike and Death Touch is like the best combat ability combination, as proved by Glissa, time and time over. So when you combine those two abilities, suddenly your creatures are terrifying, especially that you can just assign single point of damage and the creature is dead. So Galta, 1 damage and it's dead. So this is a great combination. That's why every single creature we play in the deck has Death Touch. And I wanted to have Menace on top of Death Touch, and when you actually try to search for a creature that does this, I think either there's none or there's nothing that is good enough to play. So that's why we went with Siege, so we can force the Menace on creature, and it has Death Touch on its own. So then you get an absolutely amazing value, because your opponent needs to block with 2 creatures, and both of them die, because first, second Death Touch kills them, and you are not losing the creature. So in a way, this is double removal every turn, as long as this is equipped. So this is probably the best way to use this card. This is the only idea I had, and it worked nicely, so I hope you enjoyed. Of course, this is not stronger than, meta decks, but it is fun, and I want to showcase you new cards. So if you appreciate it, please consider subscribing, because there's a lot of pain involved into making those decks work on ladder, and yeah, I'm always happy to see, some new faces on the channel. So thank you if you did this. Tell me in the comments if you enjoyed this idea. I'm pretty proud of this, because there was nothing else to do with the Scythe except this type of deck, and I think it worked exactly as we hoped. So I'm pretty happy with this. We beat the ladder, we had fun, we used new Final Fantasy cards, and yeah, what more men can hope for in current standard. And thank you for watching, guys. Thank you to all the patrons that allow us to experiment with the new cards in standard on the ladder. Thank you guys so much for your support and your help. And yeah, with that, I think that's it for today. Thank you guys for watching, and see you tomorrow.
With